chose this song. He was holding a Pentax Sportmatic, the Pentax SP camera at the time in this picture. Perhaps it was the reason that the Pentax SP camera was sold for 2 million units in 1960s. I was new the Beatles at the first time in 1990s because I grew up in China. In my childhood, all we heard were only the communist revolutionary songs. The Pentax SP camera in their hand was a legendary camera, and I knew it was after the 2000. I bought this camera at the Tsugamoto camera in Osaka, Japan 7 years ago. It was only for 5,000 yen, about $45, very cheap, with a lens, the Takuma 50mm f1.8 lens, and also with belt and case, only for $45, very cheap. But later I found that the lens have some radioactive at the rear of the lens because the Super Takuma was used fluorine. And my friend, he doesn't care about this, so I give it to him. The Pentax SP is a full mechanical camera with light emitter, and using it let you feel you're driving a 1960s car, the vintage car. Only provided the most basic functions and can't be more simpler. The advanced film feels just okay. You will feel that your finger was pulling the film, and the rewinder is the same. The shutter sound is crispy and loud, a little bit original rough. The finder's screen is not brighter and also not very clear, but I don't know why I like it. So later I bought another one, and a little bit different from the SP, the SPF version. Actually, they almost the same, so the people usually call them SPO. For the camera, the battery only for the light emitter, like a Nikon FM2. But these two kind of battery is now difficult to find them. Which two battery was different? The SP, the battery is RM400. Never heard about it. Well, the SPF, but the battery is need PX625. But I found some battery for the hearing aids. The battery can able to make the light emitter work. The Pentax SP and the SPF, they all need to push up this switch to stop down the aperture, let light emitter work. The metering result is not correct, almost two stop different, so you cannot trust the light emitter. Although the Pentax SP it's very old and not as easy to use as the later SLR camera, but it is sturdy and durable. And even now, there are many fans still using it. Because when you press the shutter, that kind of shutter sound can suddenly bring your memory back to the Beatles era. Maybe the shutter sound like this, with those older songs, they all left the mark in people's deep memories. That's sort of like now we have the DSD recording music, high resolution recorded music, but people still love the vinyl recorders and even the mono recorded music from 1950s. The Pantex SP is M42 screw mount. This mount is only unpatented mount in the world. It is a universal mount that can be manufactured by any manufacturer. So a larger number of M42 mounted lenses were produced in Europe and Japan in that era. You can switch different brand M42 lenses on M42 mount camera freely. The Pantex SP let you can choose from a large number of vintage M42 lenses left over from this glorious era, including Carl Zeiss, Carl Zeiss Jena, Meyer Pantacon, Steinhell, Schneider, Voigtlander, Enna Musin, Rollei, and also Japanese the Pantex, Mamiya, and Fuji. I think for the camera, that's also an era of freedom and prosperity. The Carl Zeiss Jena Pancola 50mm f1.8 M42 lens was made in East Germany during the Cold War. Of course, it can be used with Pantex SP cameras. Jena is the name of a place in Germany, I think, and there also were Carl Zeiss factory was located before the Second War. The Carl Zeiss was experienced bombing and was be moved whole factory to the Soviet Union. But the Germans, they rebuilt the Carl Zeiss in Jena, which was Carl Zeiss Jena in East Germany. We usually call it East Zeiss to distinguish to the Carl Zeiss in West Germany. In the glory day of Carl Zeiss Jena, many legendary lenses were produced. Among them, the Sona 135mm f3.5, the Flaktogen 35mm f2.4, and this Pancola 50mm f1.8 will be called the Three Knights of East Zeiss. This lens feels pretty good. It has full metal case. The focus ring rotates about 330 degrees with smooth fields. That make the lens focus accuracy high, which is as same as most Zeiss lenses. Although the hand feel not as good as the Leica lenses of that same era. But the great thing in this lens is the color rendering and bokeh. It brings a surprising Zeiss color. The color from Cold War is not like from Cold War at all. And now you look, this video is also shot with this lens on the camera. What do you think? It's sharp, right? Thanks for watching. See you.